everybody. I hope by the end, so I know some people want to go home, so I want to give you a bit of a theoretical introduction to yoga. Hopefully by the end of the session you'll be able to take a few tips that you can use whether you're in the TTC or whatever. And it's interesting to do that workshop at the end because you probably will find a few things that have been talked about today, because yoga, we're interpreters and we use languages. The language of yoga is the Sanskrit, which is the origin of all the Indo-European languages. So I'll toss in a few Sanskrit words. And to come in, what is yoga? It comes from the word yog, that means a union, and it's coming back to our true self and our true nature. It actually, it's for me, or you've all heard about the word yoga because it's being used as such a marketing tool to sell razor blades or like for tight-fitting jeans and all that. But it's, for me, yoga really stays the first therapeutic for self-healing. So it's actually a technique that comes from yoga. It means union. It's a technique to be reunited with yourself and your true nature. It's an ensemble of different techniques to come back into a state of harmony, to find yourself being centered and focused, especially when it's in time of stress and distress. So in Sanskrit it says samavrati nirodha, and that means that when things really get rocky like a tsunami, the techniques of yoga allow you to have like same wavelength type thing in yourself and in your being. I'm a little stressed right now. So beyond the asanas, like in the asanas, it's actually the physical practice of yoga. It allows you to have one point of focus. You're supposed to look at one thing only when you do your physical practice. And it's also meditation in action. Every single motion is linked to the breath. So the asanas, one of my teachers was actually calling that the kindergarten of yoga, because the asanas were simply designed to get rid of the nervous energy in your body so your body could then sit still and practice meditation. And especially practice like Ashtanga or power yoga was designed for teenagers, and to get rid of that nervousness, allow them to sit still and grow and become back to what they are. We said that what we are is always in a state of peace, always in a state of harmony. It's called Satchitananda. It's an ultimate truth. We are born like this. We are ultimately like this. And we're getting away from ourselves, and the techniques of yoga allow us to come back in there. What I found really interesting between my yoga practice and my life, I see a very strong parallel. If there are some weaknesses in my life, I work them on the mat and they reflect in my life. And the same thing, the weaknesses I notice I have on the mat usually reflect in my life. So it's a very interactive game. And I find especially in the sense of interpretation, especially the thing of being single-pointed, having a single-pointed focus. If you refer to that sheet that you all have, it's called intense focus, one-point attention. It's called dharana. And to be able to develop on the mat or on the pillow to have this single-pointed attention focus, it's very important for me in interpretation. Especially, it allows me to get into a zone or almost in a trance that would be qualified as samadhi, or something you develop when you have a strong meditation practice. And it really allows you to remove the sense of I, remove all distractions that could come and interfere with the availability of your intellectual capacities, and basically your availability to be fully present and fully present to listen to the message that is being sent to you so you can reproduce it in a very accurate and precise manner. And I see that as soon as I let a slight sense of I, whether it's opinion, to-do list, or something that disturbs my own code of ethic, then my interpretation is not as good because it gets distracted, and that constant wave that allows me to be totally available to the message and be really good at interpreting. Once it gets like this, once I let this sense of I come in, that disturbs my quality, I feel, as an interpreter. So that's a little something I wanted to share with you, because I feel that having some tools, not only when you go to an assignment, and the assignment can be very challenging, like let's say, I don't know, you're a very convicted Muslim guy and your assignment is to interpret for a gay couple who finds a surrogate mother here, that might disturb a bit your conviction, and being allowing yourself to have this meditation and leaving yourself at the door to be able to do your assignment, picking yourself only when you come out might be helpful. Or otherwise also using meditation or the breathing techniques of yoga when you have very challenging or emotionally disturbing assignments is a way to be able to gather ourselves and leave our work behind us and go back home without bringing all that load, I feel. So I hope that makes sense for you. If you have any question to what I have said now, please go ahead. So what I'd like to do now is just like to show you, like on the sheet of paper that you have here, it's like the complete practice of yoga. It's not only the physical asanas. The physical asanas is what you see a lot about. There's something that's very important that is what is called the yamas and the niyamas. It's actually the codes of ethics of yoga, and there's the external code of ethics, which are called the yamas, and the internal code of ethics, which are called the niyamas. For the yamas, it's ahimsa, which is the non-harming. That means non-harming things, non-harming people with your words, but also respecting yourself and non-harming yourself. There's the satya, which is the truth and not lying, being totally truthful to yourself, to others, being benevolent. Asteya, which is being responsible for your action and also non-stealing. Brahmacharya is recognizing that we're one, having a sense of unity and harmony. Aparigraha, it's the non-coveting, non-hoarding, being also simple and being generous. As for the niyamas, which are the internal observances, saucha is the cleanliness, not only bodily cleanliness, but also cleanliness for your thoughts and the purity of what you think, because that precedes your words and your actions and your emotions. Santosha is the contentment, being just happy with what you have, not always wanting something else, like the grass greener in the neighbor's garden. The tapas, which is the discipline, and it's the commitment you have for your practice or for others. Svadhyaya is the self-study. That means having the humility to observe yourself, realizing you have some weaknesses, because it's only by doing this Svadhyaya, as the first presenter was saying, that we can improve ourselves, whether it's in our lives, in our relationship, for ourselves or as interpreters. And Ishvara Pranidhana is just service to a bigger purpose. Like for us, it would be exactly not respecting the code of ethics has an influence to all the professions. So that's one of the things, that's one of the 8 limbs of yoga. The asanas are the physical practice. It allows us to be well in ourselves. The pranayama is the breath. And if you see your emotions, every single one of your emotions is connected to the way you breathe. When we're nervous, we tend to have a shallow breathing and a breathing more from the chest. When we're very relaxed, we tend to breathe like babies with the belly. Pratyahara is the withdrawal of the senses. It's just it's something that is being done, especially at the end of a yoga practice. It's called the corpse pose, and it's again to remember that we are not what we do, but we are what we are truly, which is the breath and the soul, and we're much more than what we're just simply doing or simply appearing. So the dharana and dhyana, which are this intense focus that can really help us for being interpreter, and the samadhis, I feel, is that kind of zone when you can get into when you do some interpretation. So that being said, do not expect a big physical practice. I don't know, the setting is not appropriate. I don't know the health level of people. So what I wanted to do is just very simply asanas to have us breathe together. Just show you very simple breathing exercises that you can use on your way to an assignment, on your way back to an assignment, just simply to get back grounded to yourself. And if we have time, and I think we would have time, I would just like to share with you, like there's very simple, there's like 108 names for God, there's 108 names for techniques for meditation, but I was thinking of 2 simple meditation that can help you feel more comfortable and clean yourself out. So if you want, we can start with the first. The first asana is super simple. You can do them sitting on a chair. You can do them standing. I'll remove my shoes because it's not.
Who's going to give you the mic?
Oh, okay. So the first one, if you want. Can you hear me like this? Yeah? Okay. So the first one, you can be standing or you can be sitting on the chair, it's whatever you want. It's just simply like imagine you're moving, just for the intensity, just imagine you're moving your arms through water. So just don't do like this, just floppy arms and stuff. Just imagine you're pressing in water. You're inhaling, lifting your arms up, and look between your hands. Move your palms downwards, and exhale. Bring your arms down to the end. Keep breathing, exhaling. You'll notice at the end of the breathing there's a slight hold. Inhale, inhale your arms up. Inhaling to the top. When your arms reach the top, just hold forward and bring your arms down. Do a slight pause. Inhale again, your arms up towards the ceiling and lift between your palms. Notice the slight pause at the end of your inhale and exhale, your arms down. Do another 2 breaths like this on your own rhythm. Just focusing. If you want to close your eyes, just remember, lift your head up. The side between your arms and exhale. Last time on your own. The other one is very similar, but you're going to bring your arms in front. Inhale your arms up. And when you exhale, bring your arms down and bend forward. If you can, put your hands on your thighs straight. If not, it's fine as well. Now bring your arms up. Look at this way. And exhale, bring your arms down. Now again, bring your arms up. Remember to move the water so you can see your chest. And exhale. Push the water down and exhale. And feel your belly on your thighs. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, go up. Exhale, down, and bring your navel in your spine at the end of your exhale. Inhale, your arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, down. Put your hands on the floor. Finish your exhale. Move slowly, gently. Now we'll all on the same kind of tune. The next one is just a very slight stretch, so you move, stretch your heels a little bit. So cross your right leg above the left one. I'm going to bring, because it's a different setting here, so you can always, or move your hand down here, or hold one of the foot of the chairs. And we're going to do is just for a slightly hip stretch. We all tend to sit a lot. It's a very slight one. There's another one if some people want to move. Otherwise, you can or do what's called like the double pigeon or cow pose. That's kind of something you can do like this if you want, or you can also do the half lotus on the chair. It's just kind of easier for everybody. So if you want, I'll do like this. So just breathe. You really try to reach high to the ceiling and inhale as much as you can. Really stretch and stretch towards the right side, towards the floor. Inhale once more, and then on your exhale, come forward. If you can touch the floor, or just in the front, and then inhale again. We're going to do that again. Really stretch your arm towards the ceiling. Then to the right, really feel your intercostal muscles and feel the stretch in your hip. And move downwards toward your right knee and towards the floor. And again, inhale. Then towards the right. On your exhale, towards the front. And come back up on your inhale. Again, towards the right. Exhale. And we're going to change sides. So come back up on the inhale. Switch your legs. We're going to do the other side. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, move to the left side and to the front. Gently and to the front. Inhale. Exhale, and down to the left side. Feel your wrist stretch, move to the front. Inhale, again, stretch your arm towards the ceiling, and to the left side, and exhale. And again, feel the exhale in the front. One more time, inhale. Exhale to the left side. Finish your exhale in the front. And you can just sit still for a few moments and feel how your body feels different compared to when you started. You should feel a little calmer, relaxed. Then the other thing I would like to share with you, because it's really helpful in time just to be centered, just to be focused, just to be present. It's like we really tend to have a shallow breathing most of the time, especially when we're challenged, we're a little bit stressed, we're overworked or underworked or whatever. So as I mentioned earlier, very often when we're stressed, the breathing comes from here and is pretty shallow. So there's the yogic breathing, or the natural baby breathing would be that when you inhale, your chest lifts, then your upper abdomen, then your lower abdomen, and on the exhale is the reverse. The lower abdomen comes in, then the upper abdomen, then to the chest. So I'd like if we could do a few rounds like this, and I will count, which is called again Samavriti. It's the same way. So it's on the count of 4 we inhale, on the count of 4 we exhale. And each time you will notice that it's not like this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a very light pause, which is just interesting to notice. Then if you practice on your own a little more that breathing, then later on you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 1. Then later on you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 2. But that's for your own stuff afterwards. So if you want to start the easiest, often it's like to put your hands on your abdomen, because we'll see that our mind is like a barrel of monkeys, and even when we try to focus, and that's one thing for meditation and for breathing or whatever, is like you will see if your mind can stay focused for 5 or 10 seconds, hooray. It probably will not. So the thing is that that's the work of the mind. It will go off, and your work is just to very gently bring it back to what you want to do, because the word gently is extremely, extremely important in that. So start inhaling. You inhale chest, upper abdomen, lower abdomen. Exhale, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, chest. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, lower abdomen. 2, 3, 4.
chest, abdomen, lower abdomen, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, chest. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Doing that on your own. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Now on your own. At the end of your next exhale, just keep your eyes closed. And just notice how you feel. Just notice how this brings you back in a state of just calmness. And that's a very, very easy technique you can use wherever you are. That state of peace and calmness. There's another little breathing exercise I'd like to show you, which really, especially in times of nervousness, it's used to balance out the nervous system. And it's something, if you do a little bit of practice on your own, after a while you can do it mentally. Just to start, and it's a very good idea to do, like, even if you can do 5 minutes per day, or it doesn't take much more time, but when you take your right hand, you bend the first 2 fingers, the thumb goes onto the right nostril. You don't want to totally obstruct the right nostril, but just at the edge where the bone and the cartilage meet, you could just slightly press here. That's enough to cut the airflow, and the other 2 fingers go onto the other side. So we use through it's called alternate nostril breathing, or nadi shodhana. And we start by exhaling to the left side. I'll just show you at first, and then you can do it. You exhale through the left side, and then what you do is you obstruct on the right nostril, and you inhale through the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like pause, close. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the right. 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do a few rounds like this. It's, you do how many rounds you want, but you will see that usually even after, like when I say one round is like inhale left, pause, exhale right, exhale left. That's one round. Usually after just 5 rounds, like you really, if you've been feeling scattered, like really come back to a state of centeredness and more focus and more calm. So if you want to start, put your hands together, first 2 fingers closed, right thumb on the right nostril, exhale entirely through the left, so exhale pulling your belly button into your spine, exhale and inhale through the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, exhale through the right, 2, 3, 4, pause in, 2, 3, 4, 1, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale left, 2, 3, 4, exhale right, 3, 4, inhale right, 2, 3, 4, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, inhale left, 2, 3, 4, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, inhale right, 2, 3, 4, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, inhale left, 2, 3, 4, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, inhale right, 2, 3, 4, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, inhale left, exhale, in, exhale, in, exhale right, in right, exhale left. You can bring on by yourself if you wish. And when you're done, just put your hands on your knees and keep your eyes closed. And just observe how you feel. Stay in that state. Means be feeling calm and relaxed. From here, I'm going to guide you through the meditation. Not very long, just a bit of a visualization. Like 10 years later on as well. Keep focusing on your breathing. Keep focusing on the rising and the falling of your belly. Feel the cool air entering your nostrils and the warm air coming out of your nostrils. Feel the air going into your lungs, front, side, and back. And the exhale bringing your lungs in. And I would like you to try and bring your breath from your nostril to between your eyes, to what is called the third eye. Inhale through the third eye. And you exhale through the third eye. Inhale through the third eye. exhale through the third eye. Imagine the breath coming in, it's a light, bright, light, incandescent light. And keep bringing that light in through the third eye. And exhaling it out. Keep breathing that light in through the third eye. And exhaling it out. While you keep breathing, imagine your heart is a flower. You can choose a lotus flower. You can visualize a rose. You can visualize any flower that you want. And keep breathing in that white light. Imagine the lightness of your heart. And very slowly, inhale that white light, and when it reaches the middle of your brain, just slowly, gently drop that white light like a very light rain in the flower underneath your heart. Breathe in more of this white light, turn it into a very light, warmish rain that goes onto your flower. Breathing in and bringing that white light inside yourself. Comforting light. Inhale, bringing the white light. Shower your heart with it. Keep inhaling that white light and shower the flower. Stay with that visualization. Just that white external light coming into your heart. Soothing. Keep inhaling and exhaling through the third eye. Keep inhaling the white light dropping in softly, gently, like a rain. The sense of peace that brings to you. Slowly. Close that window that open in your third eye. And come back to a regular breathing with your nostril in and out. Keeping this sense of warmth inside you. Breathing in and out. And staying within yourself like this. Inhaling and exhaling. Feel your body again, your belly going up and down. Be aware of your mind wandering and without judging, just observing your mind wandering that you would observe a cloud in the sky. Just gently bring it back to your breathing. Just very gently. Bring it back to your breathing. Cold air coming in filling your lungs from sides and back. Bringing your belly up and bringing your belly down. Focusing on your breath. The sensation of that breath in your body. The sensation of fullness, ease, and peace. And the exhale, the relief. Bringing your attention back to the breath, wherever your brain carries you. There's nowhere to be, nothing to do, just being here. Slowly deepen your breath. Come back into your physical body, maybe blow your fingers. Something that I like to do to come out of the meditation is rub my palms together until they create some warmth. And then you very gently cup your palms over your eyes. Stretch your arms towards the ceiling. Open your eyes. Very simple meditation. It's a very simple meditation, but it really allows like to find a sense of peace at whatever time. Like the white light, big basic white light, visualization that is very, very much used. The technique I showed you, just visualizing the light allows you to clean your brain. You can also imagine the white light is coming in. Dark light within the routine coming out. Something you can do, and that is different ideas for you. We tend to get bored, so it's always nice to have different options. You can also take in that white light, and instead of turning it into where you can turn it into a very tiny diamond, and then gently dropping it in the center of the lotus or the flower. So it's just different ideas.
I think it got unplugged from the
Sorry, so for who did not hear, so the meditation I just had you do is about the white light and being based into a white yellowish light. It's a very important technique for healing. This white light is the creation, whatever you want to believe in it. And the other things, if you want to shift around, like if it's something that you like, you can also imagine that this white light is something we bring into ourselves to cleanse ourselves, bringing peace, and you can exhale the darkness or like the light that has taken all the impurities, whether it's toxins or toxins of thoughts or chemical toxins. So you can inhale the white light and exhale something that is rare, that's carrying out what you want to get rid of. Another thing you can also do, which is, it's called the diamond in the lotus. I think it's from the Tibetan tradition. You can slowly decide to instead, you can start doing the light that turns into a rain that just touches the petal and puts dew on the flower. You can also decide to bring that white light and turn it into a tiny shimmering diamond that comes into a lotus and stays in the flower, or that when it touches the flower, explodes and just lightens everything inside. And it's something that really is for self-healing. It really does wonder, I find. Then I think we have time. If you have questions? Okay.
So if there are any questions for Violaine?
there particular times of the day when it's more effective?
It is being said that waking up and doing your practice by 5:30 in the morning, it's actually a very good time. It's just the energies are very still, even the animals are just not even awake, and it's a very auspicious time to do. I was doing a lot in my practice, and the magical number, it's always 3 weeks, 21 days. After 21 days, you've managed to build a new habit. It's always 3 days, 3 weeks, and if you wake up every day and you do that, let's say, from 5:30 to 7, if you want, or just, like just being realistic, just doing from 5:30 to 5:45, and do that discipline to do that for yourself, even if it's to go and soak in a bath after going back to bed, you will slowly find changes. It's a good time. Usually the time, if it's not 5:30, it's easy to do when we're in a cave or in Asia or whatever. In real life, doing it like having a glass of water and doing it before our brain gets polluted with thoughts of to-do list, it's actually the best time to do it. Like just waking up and going onto a pillow or in the same spot always in the house where it can be not disturbed, and it actually does create vibes. Like you will notice that if you do this meditation and consistently in the same place in the house, there will be something that will shift in the atmosphere in the house. Like I've been in places where people would have such a strong practice, and just sitting there, I would be just overwhelmed with gratitude and feeling very emotional, and that was just picking up the vibes of someone who's doing the surrender, doing that work. So early in the morning, before you do any other activities, is the best time. But otherwise, any time is good, like TTC trips. It's a great way of being in the lineup where when you're being annoyed, go back to your meditation, and then you're not wasting your time, you're making your time better.
Maybe I missed your very beginning because I had a problem to hear you properly due to technical issues. And I don't remember, did you say anything, what is the name of this yoga? I remember that you said that there are so many types of yoga. When I was in India, let's say, I practiced Raja Yoga, which is also to train your mind how to focus, and then I practiced some other yoga when I was in Ethiopia, like I needed to remember certain mantra, and that mantra was a secret. I couldn't say that mantra to anyone. I hated it. I didn't like it. Raja Yoga, I liked it very much, and this is kind of similar. So I would like to know, first of all, how do you call this yoga? And secondly, why have you decided to practice this particular yoga?
I'm not doing a particular type of yoga. My base would be Ashtanga, which I would call the grammar of yoga. What I've shown you here, this document,
yes,
is the base of the Ashtanga yoga, which is also called, it's been very much westernized, so it's power yoga and all that, but it's so this one, Patanjali is, the yoga tradition I think is 20 or 25,000 years old or something like this, but Patanjali is the first one who actually put it in a book, and when I read the Yoga Sutras about Patanjali, I was just blown away by how many similarities there were between yoga and Christian religion, for example. But I've practiced lots of different yogas, like that meditation as for origin a Tibetan Buddhist practice. So it's not from any type of yoga, just that sheet, because it's very well known and it's very well laid out. But there's tons of different types of yoga. They're all really good. They all allow you to bring back to yourself and go and look at yourself.
Exactly, like also philosophy of breathing, because you have a full philosophy of how to breathe and every level and stages and so on and so on. That's absolutely amazing, and it brings you really to your to the core of your inner being, and you are in peace with you and with the world around you, and it makes you self-centered really and focused.
And it's why when people think of yoga as a physical practice, like there's lots of yoga classes I go to, and I call that yoga aerobic. And when I first arrived in Canada, I was crying because I was thinking, oh, it distorted the sense of yoga. But whatever, yoga is really good. But it's physical practice, there's the pranayama, there's the breathing, there's the meditation, there's all that things.
Thank you.
Yes, if I may answer the same question,
Yeah?
because I'm practicing this pranayama and yoga every day. So for the lady who asked this question, Patanjali Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga are the basics. Anywhere you go, whatever name they give, like Power Yoga or whatever, but it's at the end of the day, everything is based on Patanjali and Ashtanga Yoga that she talked just now. So we are into like the basics, then you can improvise on anything for marketing purpose. Like as she said, it's like not the physical part that's important. Yeah, it's the mental stuff. And that's why yoga is good, not only for the physical part, but for your inner being.
Yes, of course.
And
There
that's
are
why I
yogas
call, that's
also-
why I said my base is Ashtanga Yoga, and I call that the grammar of yoga. Without grammar, you cannot speak good language. So from the basis, it's like if you're a chef, if you know your basics, then you can play around. You can do mac and cheese, curry sauce, but if you don't know the basic, you cannot
Yeah.
build on it.
But there is physical yoga, as you know, as well, and those positions, there are like 100 positions from lotus to canto, and so on and so on.
They're not asking questions, they're like another lecture coming from that side. I have a silly question, actually. My main problem with meditation has always been I tend to fall asleep.
You tend to fall asleep.
Yeah, how do you keep from
Well, there's first, do not meditate laying down. I can show you proper posture, because if you really do the posture for meditation, it is work. And you
When I'm
cannot
sitting, I
fall
was trying to meditate with you.
So then
I started dropping off.
You really need to keep your spine really straight. And so that means that you need to activate your core muscles. That means that you need to bring your belly back into your spine a little bit. And then you hold yourself really straight, and you have your chin slightly tucked in, so your spine is really straight. And it is said for whoever wants to believe that you get connected to the energies of the universe. But even if you're sitting on the chair like this, you don't want to lay your back like that. You want to be straight like this. Therefore, you have to do that part of your body work, and you want to have your arms straight. And if you're like this, you have to work at it. And that's what they say is like the two enemies of the meditation practice. First, if you don't believe into the two techniques of practice, then sleep. But once you start slouching, then that's when you need to catch yourself up. There's some yoga retreats where, the master will go around and realize that this student is not really meditating, and they will actually tap the person with a stick, right, which creates a resonance. It's an old other technique. But if you have your posture, you will not fall asleep, or you will catch yourself moving like that.
But if you're sitting there and you're not conscious of maintaining your posture or something, then you're not really meditating. You're thinking.
No, not really. No, I mean I don't do my own practice now, because like when I usually meditate after doing the breathing, and then I'm like this, and then the practice becomes something. But you feel like if you're like this, that's kind of going to. I don't think that you never hit me. I don't really think of the posture. It's just like you feel that you have your posture. You can be like this or anywhere, but it's once you go, you feel it. Something.
Was it like that with you from the beginning, or did you learn?
It took me 3 months on a pillow before one day after 3 months. Oh, that's what is meditating for 3 months. You're like,
Well, one thing that I find useful, I'm not sure if you will agree with that, is the guided meditations. I have a similar problem as you have, that I have so many things in my mind, like everything that I want to do, right? And difficult to block those thoughts. So I started using guided meditation, and I have Dr. Wayne Dyer on the background speaking to me and saying, try to leave even a couple of seconds gap in between.
Recording?
Yeah, YouTube.
I just use it like
The I Am meditation from Wayne Dyer is amazing.
because at the beginning it's very hard, like the brain is all over the place, or you can, same, like the breathing we were doing, and you do meditation, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you bring yourself back 1, 2, 3. That's why the guided meditation is a really good thing, because it's very
It's very hard, but once you manage to develop a practice, like getting into that meditative state is something that takes you less time. It's the same as everything. It's like there's no magic for this practice, it's perfection. So if there is ever perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.